Have you ever heard the saying, "The harder you try, the worse it gets"? This might sound strange at first, but it's a common experience in many aspects of life. Let's dive into this idea and explore why sometimes less effort can lead to better results. Imagine trying to untangle a knot. The more you pull and tug, the tighter it gets. But if you slow down, take a deep breath, and work carefully, the knot often comes apart more easily. This is what we mean when we say that sometimes, the harder you try, the worse it gets. 2. Understanding the concept, let's start by defining what we mean when we say, the harder you try, the worse it gets. Essentially, this means that when we push too hard, we often end up making things worse instead of better. Take, for example, trying to fall asleep. The more you force yourself to sleep, the harder it becomes. You toss and turn, getting more frustrated and less sleepy. Or think about a time when you were desperately trying to impress someone, only to feel like you were coming off as inauthentic or awkward. This concept is supported by science. Psychologists call this paradoxical intention. It suggests that focusing too intensely on a goal can create anxiety and tension, making it harder to achieve. Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist, discovered that when people try too hard to avoid something like anxiety, they often experience it more intensely. Consider another example, playing a sport. A golfer might find that the more they try to hit the perfect shot, the more likely they are to mess up. But when they relax and let their training take over, they perform better. This is the essence of not over-trying. 3. The philosophy of not following women now. Let's explore what we mean by don't follow women in this context. This phrase isn't about ignoring women or their advice. Instead, it's about not letting the pursuit of approval or validation from others dictate your actions. Historically, this concept comes from various cultural teachings that emphasize self-reliance and inner strength. It's about staying true to your own path and not getting caught up in the chase for external validation. For example, in some traditional teachings, there's a lesson that constantly seeking the approval of others, especially in romantic relationships, can lead to a loss of self. It means that when we focus too much on pleasing others, we often lose sight of our own needs and desires. Consider this scenario. A man constantly tries to please his partner by changing himself to fit what he thinks she wants. Over time, he becomes someone he's not, and both partners end up unhappy. Instead, if he focuses on being the best version of himself, the relationship is likely to be more genuine and fulfilling. This philosophy encourages individuals to cultivate their own strengths and follow their own paths. It's about being true to oneself and not letting the fear of judgment or the desire for approval control one's actions. 4. The balance of effort. So, how do we find the right balance between effort and letting things happen naturally? Moderation is key. It's important to put in effort, but also to know when to step back and let things flow. Mindfulness can be incredibly helpful here. Mindfulness means being present and aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you notice you're trying too hard, take a step back, breathe, and reassess. Here are some practical tips. In relationships, focus on genuine connection rather than trying to impress. Spend quality time, listen actively, and be yourself. At work, prioritize quality over quantity. Set realistic goals and take regular breaks to maintain productivity and creativity. Personal goals, set achievable milestones and celebrate small victories. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Mindfulness techniques, like meditation and deep breathing, can help you become more aware of when you're overexerting yourself. Practicing gratitude can also shift your focus from what's not working to what is, helping you relax and let go of unnecessary effort. 5. Inspiring stories. Let's look at some inspiring stories. Steve Jobs, for instance, often spoke about the importance of following your intuition rather than striving to meet others' expectations. He believed that trying too hard to fit in would stifle creativity and innovation. Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." Another example is J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. She focused on writing the best story she could, rather than trying to conform to what publishers thought would sell. Rowling famously said, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." These stories teach us that success often comes from authenticity and perseverance, rather than overexertion and seeking validation. They remind us that staying true to our own path and passions can lead to unexpected and rewarding outcomes. To wrap up, we've explored how trying too hard can sometimes lead to worse outcomes, the philosophy of not following women, and the importance of balancing effort with letting go. Remember, it's about being true to yourself and finding a natural flow in life. Reflect on your own efforts and ask yourself, am I pushing too hard? Can I step back and allow things to unfold more naturally? As Viktor Frankl wisely said, don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you are going to miss it. Success, like happiness, often comes as a byproduct of living a meaningful and authentic life. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore more ways to live a fulfilling and authentic life. Remember, we love hearing from you, so share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. See you in the next video.